Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to part 6 of the top 10 worst DSP gaming moments of 2023. So, let's keep going, shall we? Because, to be honest, there are things that have sucked throughout this year, well, throughout 2023 for Phil. That's apparent, yes, but I've not really come across things I could say makes Phil look really bad. I suppose the most I can say about how bad Phil is that he has the "oh, woe is me" mentality. Yes, even though some things were absolutely out of his control and bad, but I don't know, maybe it would help if he wasn't, if he didn't bang on about them so much. I don't know, you be the judge. Let's keep going. That who tried to scam this Jasper on top of everything else. Cats. Okay.
Aside of that, we did a few other things. It's neither here nor there. The one thing that I want to talk about is this vet visit. All right, I'm pretty upset. Let's explain what happened. All right, so for the record, Jasper Kitty is not sick, all right? He's perfectly healthy. He has nothing wrong with him at all right now. He was going in for his yearly checkup, and he was going in to get his rabies vaccine follow-up, okay? Now, I don't know how the rabies vaccine works. That's on the doctor to explain it to you, right? But I was under the understanding that he was going to probably need his rabies vaccine follow-up, but we had scheduled him just for a checkup, and we figured while we're there, we'll get everything done, right? So, here's the thing, all right? We've taken Jasper to this vet for 3 straight years. The first year, they were still at the end of COVID. So back then, everyone was still wearing masks here in Washington State, and you couldn't go in anywhere. It was like, oh God, it's like everyone has to have a fucking hazmat suit on. So, oh my goodness, here's Jasper. Oh, sorry, sir, you can't go back there with him. We'll take him into our sterile room, and we'll examine it ourselves, and we'll tell you the findings. It was like, what the hell is this? Stupid COVID was so bad, and everyone was so afraid. Here in Washington was one of the worst. We were like some of the worst afraid states there were. So you couldn't do anything, right? Now, the good news is last year, all right, all that was finally over with. No more masks, no more being afraid. So last year, we took Jasper to this same vet in the summer. We were allowed to go into the exam room with him. And here's the thing about Jasper, okay? Jasper Kitty absolutely hates being in the carrier.
Okay.
Whenever he's in that carrier, he is very upset and nervous. If he's in the car, he's panting and he's meowing. He's just afraid. He hates the carrier for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if he had a traumatic experience in his past, but he hates the carrier. When he's out of the carrier, he is perfectly fine. So to give you an example, last year, they allowed us into an exam room, so we opened the carrier. He comes out in the exam room. He's having a blast. He's crawling on the desk. He's jumping all around. He's having fun. He actually enjoyed his vet visit last year because, for the first time since COVID ended, you could go in the exam room. He was allowed to run around, have free reign. Had a great time, okay? And it was great. So I remember last year, the vet...
I'm just going to straight up say, for the record, is that I'm not a particularly big cat person. But I do admit it's actually quite nice to see that Phil is genuinely quite passionate and quite concerned for the well-being of his pet animals. So I like that. So I can say that much.
Examined him, explained everything that the vet found. They said he was a little bit on the overweight side. We need to cut down on his food, which we've done in the last year. All right, good news is he lost some weight in this last year. And a few other observations, whatever. That was great. And by the way, it was quick. I remember last year, we basically waited in the waiting room maybe 10 minutes, got right into our room, our exam room. That was maybe a 10-minute wait. Vet came in, exam, done. We were out within 40 minutes. The whole visit was done. It was awesome, and we were on with our day, okay? So here's what happens this year. Okay? So I know, you already know what's going to happen. You already know it's going to be some fucking bullshit rigmarole, right? You ready for this? Okay. We show up early. We actually showed up 15 minutes early because we were hoping that if we showed up early, maybe we could get in exactly when our appointment was and we could get out early to do the rest of the stuff we needed to do during the day because we had a very busy day planned. So, first of all, we show up early. Okay?
Let's make it big thing. And all big early stuff.
I'm not kidding you. This is what they tell us at the front desk. Oh, you're early? Well, we can't check you in until it's time for your appointment.
Oh. Okay.
What?
Wait.
Yeah, we're not.
Whoa. Phil, you're getting pissed about the fact that you have to wait for when you have to have an actual appointment with someone? Phil, I don't really know how I was meant to explain it to you, but yeah, this is Phil's if this is Phil's narcissism and is I feel kind of bad now for complimenting him about Jasper earlier, but is this really what this is all about? It can't be. There's got to be more to this.
Not allowed to check you in until it's time exactly for your appointment. So you're just stuck. You came for no reason. Just sit here in the lobby. Great. Well, Jasper hates being in this carrier, and now he's stuck in the carrier for extra time because they don't care that we're there early. They just, just wait. All right, fine. So we wait, and then when it's time for our appointment, we check in. Okay. We then wait in the lobby for about another 10 to 15 minutes. So apparently they weren't ready regardless. And then a tech comes out. And the tech comes out and says, oh, you were early. I swear to God, this is what the tech says. She goes, oh, you were early. Well, the vet is late. Still on lunch. Stutters her words, like cuts herself off and changes what she was saying mid-sentence. Still at lunch. So obviously, the tech inadvertently admitted to us that the vet was late for work. Okay? So we can't get you in yet. You have to wait in the lobby, and once the vet is back from lunch, we'll let you in. But our appointment is at this time, and the vet's not here? Okay, so what is going on? Now, in the meantime, other people are coming in with their pets. There was someone who came in with 2 chihuahuas. They were let in within 5 minutes into an exam room, and you could hear the doctor over there examining and dealing with the chihuahuas, having a great time in the room. Another person comes in with a cat and a carrier. They're allowed right into an exam room. It's only us that are stuck in this lobby waiting with Jasper and his carrier. Now, if you add up the time, it's been over a half an hour he's sitting here in his carrier in the lobby, and we're not even allowed in yet. So finally, the tech is there, and I'm like, well, how long are we going to wait? What is going on? So the tech says, all right, we're going to take him in. The tech takes Jasper in, but not us. What? So now Jasper's in there by himself without us in the room, and we're not allowed to come in. Why not? The people with the chihuahuas are in the room. The woman with the other cat just went into the room. Why can't we go in? No, you stay in the lobby. Okay? All right. So they take Jasper in. 5 minutes. I'm not kidding. I timed it. 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to go on a hunch, ladies and gentlemen, and please step in if you feel like I'm wrong about this, but I'm starting to get the impression that Phil has just made this entire story up. Not the one about taking Jasper to the vet, but this about waiting and then taking Jasper in separately and leaving Phil outside in the lobby. I think Phil is not being truthful about this. I don't know why. I think it's when he got to the I timed it. Does anybody actually do that? I think that's just the sort of thing people say when they know that, there's no doubt anything but that. But this being Phil, the doubt meter is going up. I think Phil is leaving out some things about this visit.
After 5 minutes, they take Jasper back out and hand it back to us in the carrier. And I'm like, did you do anything? Did you examine? Don't worry, the vet will be right with you. We wait another 20 minutes. So now Jasper has been in his carrier over an hour, and it's not even clear if they examined him or not. We don't know what happened yet. Okay? So now we've been there an hour. Finally, a woman who I'm the vet. You should have seen this woman. All right? She comes out. First of all, everyone else that's working there has their nurse/tech garb on, so you can tell they work there. It says the name of the vet. This woman comes out, in gray sweat clothes. It looks like she literally just came in off the street, maybe from jogging. I'm not sure. Her hair, you can literally tell she was late for work because her hair is dripping wet. You could tell what happened is she came in and just quickly brushed or combed her hair with water before she came out to the lobby. It literally had just been combed because it was wet as shit, right? So she comes out not dressed for work with wet hair. Okay, so is that Jasper? Wait, what? You're the vet. Didn't you just examine him? Oh, is that Jasper? Okay, so here's what we found.
Yeah, it feels
okay?
bullshitting. That's what I think this is. You don't know how I also think this is he's bullshitting us. Not just because of the way they edited, like zoom in on him and stuff like that. It's because there is like no other emotion apart from exasperation in Phil's voice, which is the sort of thing that he does whenever he tries to make something sound unbelievable and tries to make people believe it. I've seen it many times with Phil before when he's talked about, saying, denying about WWE champions, and then also denying other things aside from the whole thing about the stupid vest marathon that he did, or goodness knows, like a lot of other things. But what but what is the point what is the point of this story, Phil? What are you trying to prove? That somebody just took your pet and they decided to not do what they were going to do? Did Phil ever follow this up?
What the vet says. First of all, well, has he ever had blood work? And I'm like, you work here. He's been here for 3 years. You don't know if he's had blood work yet. So I said, no, he hasn't had blood work. He's never had a reason to have blood work. I never had a serious illness or whatever. So, he never had that, So he's here for his exam and his rabies vaccine, right? So they said, okay, well, we think he should have blood work. Why? Well, it's a routine thing for these cats. Every few years they should have blood work. It's a way to check for diseases. It's a way to check for this or that. I'm like, all right, so let's be real here. Let's talk cost. What do I owe you now? And what am I going to owe you if we have blood work? Okay? So he goes, well, for the exam and the rabies vaccine today, it's $109. Okay? But if we do the blood work, it's $450. What? And I was like, $450? But there's nothing wrong with him. Why do I want you to do $350 blood test? Right? But this vet is actually like hard selling me on getting this blood test. Like, he's not sick. And she kept pushing it. She's like, no, really, I'm telling you, I'm recommending you should. I was like, we're not doing the blood test, all right? This is ridiculous. Like, we're not doing this blood test. He came here for one thing. This is absolutely ridiculous. So, by the way, at this point, we don't even know if he received his vaccine or anything. This vet told us nothing. So the vet says, all right, well, I'll be back. And goes into the back and disappears, I shit you not, for another 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And then comes back again. Well, never comes back. We never saw the vet again. If that even was the vet. I don't know. There was nothing on the person to say they were the vet. Okay? Finally, the vet tech comes out again. So now we've been here almost 90 minutes. Jasper's been in this carrier, and he's very upset. He hates being in the carrier, and he's been in here for 90 minutes. By the way, we weren't allowed into the room. If he even saw a room, I don't even fucking know, right? I have no clue. And, what you want to talk about a night and day experience. Last year, they're nice, they're kind. Within 20 minutes, we're in an exam room. Jasper's out of the character. He's out of the carrier. He's playing. He's enjoying himself. He's having a good time, right? He gets his vaccine, which is quick. We're out of there within 40 minutes. We're 90 minutes into yesterday's visit, and we don't even know what's happened yet. I was ready to walk out. Kat was very upset. She's like, I want to get out of here. This is absolutely ridiculous. I said, if they don't come within 5 more minutes, we're leaving. And then they can figure out how to bill us. Because I've had enough of this. This is fucking ridiculous. How we're being treated, right? So, finally, the vet tech comes out again, not the vet, and says, all right, we're all set. I said, what do you mean you're all set? Well, we're ready to go. What do you mean you're ready to go? Did he get his vaccine? Oh, yeah. Well, we brought him back before. We examined him. We got him his vaccine. He's good to go. You didn't tell us. You never even, we've been sitting here an hour and a half. You never even told us that you did that, right? So I go up to the front and I pay for the exam of the vaccine, and they give me that tag that says that he's been vaccinated or whatever. And they hand me a ton of paperwork. Now, I don't know what any of this paperwork is, okay? I wouldn't know until I have a chance to read it. Now, I said, we got Jasper home. We had a ton of shit to do. We had to go grocery shopping. We had to do a ton of stuff. So later that night, all right, I come home, and finally it's time. Let's read the paperwork. It's like 8, 9 p.m. now, right? So I start reading the paperwork. And on the paperwork, all of a sudden, it says all this shit on the paperwork that this vet never told us about. All right? Number one, it explains the whole vaccination process. It says last year he got his first dose. This year's the booster. Now that he got the booster, he doesn't need a rabies vaccine for 3 more years. So we don't have to worry about getting him back to the vet for his vaccine next summer. It's taken care of. Cool. We got 3 years to wait till 2026. Did the vet tell us that? No. Never explained. Another thing, and this really got me, okay? There's something on there that we absolutely should have known. The vet didn't tell us. It says, Jasper is starting to show early signs of a little bit of dental plaque. Now, it's early. What you can do is you can do, like dental treats. You buy cat dental treats and things, and it'll actually start cleaning their teeth nicely. And as long as you do it regularly, it should not be a problem at all. He should be good, all right? But it even says on there, some cats, it doesn't actually help using the dental treats, and long term they might need to get tooth cleanings. All right, so keep an eye on it. The vet didn't fucking say that at all. Now, after the vet appointment, during our day out, we went to the pet store and we actually bought Jasper things. We could have bought him the dental treats, but we didn't know we needed to get them because the vet didn't fucking say anything. Okay, so literally we went to the vet for an hour and a half. Jasper was seen for 5 minutes, and literally the vet told us none of the information that we should have known while we were there, and expected us to just figure it out later by reading this giant stack of fucking paperwork that they gave us to go home with. Okay? So, after that, we're like, we are not going back to this vet. And it's a shame, because we actually had a great experience with this vet last year. We thought the vet was great. Now that COVID was over and you're able to go into the exam rooms with your pet again, we had a great time. He had a great time. I have pictures on my phone of Jasper having a blast at the vet last year. I'm not even kidding. Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, because
here's Jasper at the vet last year when they let him into the exam room and he was chilling on the counter. He's having fun. He had a great time. You know, not in the carrier the whole time. That was August of 2022. This year, it's like a completely different fucking place. Like, you know, what happens to these places? How is it that in a year they completely changed their entire process? Why did everyone else around us get to go into a room with their pet but not us? Why were we rushed in and out for 5-minute exam but kept there for 90 minutes? Why was the vet late? Because that's the truth. But the problem is, I think, here's what I really think happened. The vet is basically, we got the worst vet in the place, right? They were already late for work. So we had to wait extra just for the vet to show up. And then when they showed up, it was a rush job. Oh,
okay, I'll just say this, Phil. They were talking about dental care and stuff like that. How difficult do you think it is actually to assess a cat for like dental care and stuff like that? It probably wouldn't have taken too long, but I imagine that, again, if they were kept waiting around for that long, then it probably means that they had to run up and actually question. I don't necessarily know the whole of this, but the issue I have is, can we trust Phil as being a reliable source for this story when he has sort of like, again, like I said, he tries to spin things so that it makes him look like the victim. He is a spin doctor. That's what this is about. This isn't about Jasper. This is about Phil thinking as though he got scammed by someone that was by just. It's hard because the circumstances are only really determined by what Phil has told us, but I don't really feel as though he's telling us the full story, or there are things about the process that he probably should have. Maybe he's just decided to leave out. That's the thing. You can judge a lot about a story by what they don't tell you.
He's just here for his yearly exam. All right, get him in quick. Let's do this fast. Okay, we're done. On to the next. Well, they're still here. Oh, shit, I got to go out there and talk to them. Oh, man. Oh, and I got to do my hair. And runs out in the sweat, goes, hey, everyone. So just so you know, by the way, let's upsell on a $300 blood test. And let's try to scam the fucking poor people out of $300 that we definitely don't need to spend, but they're being idiots about it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I made like no money on this visit today, so let's try to upsell them to make profit, right? It's exactly what it was. A $300 fucking blood test. You know? Like, are you out of your mind? So, we're not going back. We're done. You know? And it's sad because, like I said, last year it was completely different. I felt like it was a great vet a year ago. And then somehow this all changed. You know, in the last year, and now it's a completely different business. Like, I would never go back there after that. That was such a horrible experience. Right? So, yeah, so that's it. So anyway, that was our experience, and it sucked because, you know, this is something that we were hoping would be under an hour. All in all, with that taking so long and the driving, it was over 2 hours out of our day, and now we were way behind. So we didn't actually get to do everything that we were supposed to do or wanted to do yesterday. You know, we got maybe half the stuff that we wanted to do. We had a lot of things lined up, and we're like, well, we're too tired. We don't have time to do it. What are you going to do, right? So it is what it is. So, yeah, that's that. And, you know, they'll get our feedback, and it is what it is. It sucked. It sucks to even have to talk about it. But, you know, something to vent about, something to tell you want to know about what happened on my day off. That's what happened on my day off. Okay? All right. Let's talk about today. Let's talk about the schedule. Okay? So, someone literally said the entitlement. Wow, you're a fucking idiot. You think that a consumer be asking to be treated like all the other consumers in the same business and getting the money, you're getting what they pay for, getting a good experience, especially when there's competition in the area, you think that's entitlement. No, you're an asshole. You're a complete idiot. Go fuck yourself.
DSP went to the... Wait, what did that say?
Oh, you're an asshole. You're a complete idiot. Go fuck yourself.
DSP went to the bathroom to blow his nose, and upon his return immediately sits down and resumes bitching about what that dent said. Okay.
I mean, it's a pretty dumb statement, don't you think? That's like you say, you go into a restaurant, a table of 4, you all order the same deal.
You want to know why this? Okay, 1 second. Actually, let's do it this way. You want to know why it's entitlement, Phil? It's because Phil. The reason why it's entitlement is because the way you're acting about it is though you're acting as though they are doing it to you out of spite. That's why it's entitlement, Phil. It's because you think that people are mistreating you and trying to squeeze you for every cent you can just because they think they can just get away with doing it, and that's all that matters. And that's why you feel entitled, Phil, is that the reason why people feel entitled to anything is that they feel as though they've deserved it because of what they're paying for, and that for what they're having to pay, it feels like one of those things that they need to get, they deserve. The reason why people come across label Phil as entitled is because they act as though maybe just because things had to be done a bit differently and there were some different procedures, as well as Phil coming to these wild conspiracies about the vent being crap, despite the fact that they did everything they needed to do and gave Phil the necessary information and offered the stuff like that. You still act like an asshole towards them, Phil. That's why people label you as entitled, because you come across as someone as though you're more important than a vet or Jasper. Don't take this out of the vet. That poor woman's probably just doing her job and she was maybe caught on a bad day. That's why, again, I don't really feel bad for Phil when he's talking about this story, because it's the way in which he leaves stuff out, or when there are holes in his story because of things he's done before, where he's trying to scam people. Those are the sorts of things that... Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering what these bruises here are on like the inside of my elbow, it's because I actually had to do some blood tests about a few days ago, They're absolutely fine. Yeah, I actually I gave blood. That's what these bruises are, and I was a little bit surprised myself to actually see these, and yeah, that's sort of why it's there. So yeah, I apologize if you're wondering what that was about.
Three of you get your food at the same time and it's all great quality. You have to wait an extra half hour to get your food, and when the food comes out, it's all fucked up, and then they want to charge you more for it than everybody else. But if you complain, that's entitlement.
Okay, Phil laughs at that. I remember actually, it was this time last year. I had an experience in a restaurant where I got like surf and turf. Well, here's just the difference between Phil's level of entitlement and perhaps mine is because last year, on my 25th birthday, me and my family, we went out to this really cool restaurant in town. I'll keep this short, but the point is that I had surf and turf, and they brought the steak out and everything like that. And it was about 5 minutes, and they said they actually brought the prawns out and stuff like that. It was more king shrimp that they brought out. And the waitress said, "We apologize that we delayed in taking the shrimp out. We will simply take this off your bill, and we'll only charge you for the steak." And stuff like that. And they were very polite and they were very reasonable about it, because I've been to that place many, many times. The service there is fantastic and the food is just as good. But the point I'm trying to make is that you just trust that sort of business, and because businesses don't really want to be labeled as being late, tardy, and give people a bad experience, they will compromise on these sorts of things to maintain their standards. The reason why Phil literally has Phil has a lot of standards that other people have to fulfill. It's not, it's given, there's no give with this man. It's all take. And I apologize.
Wow.
I tipped the poor lass as well.
You people on the internet are real smart when you say shit like that, right?
Before the video ends, I just want to show you this relevant clip. Okay, here we go.
Oh, and by the way, one other thing I should say, you could get something called pet insurance. That also is pretty inexpensive. And for, a little bit a month, basically what they do is they cost up to a certain level of medical cost, etc. And we have that for him. So, a few bucks a month, if something goes horribly wrong and we have to end up paying thousands of dollars in medical bills, the insurance will cover up to a certain amount. Will cover the whole thing? Of course not. But as long as you can prove that it was some kind of a weird circumstance that happened, the pet insurance will usually cover it. And that way you don't have insane amounts of cost out of nowhere that you can't afford. And I'll be very honest here as well. My parents are pet lovers. They're cat lovers. They have multiple cats. And, talking with them when we got Jasper, they said, yeah, more than likely if anything went horribly wrong, they would be able to help out a little bit. Don't worry about, oh God, if something happens, now you can't afford it or something like that. They would be able to, at least do a little bit to help out. So there you go.
Wait, yeah, that's... He has
help out. So there you go.
So wait a minute. Okay, DSP has pet insurance, which would have covered the cost of the blood work and teeth cleaning. Scamming his dents for or legit pet neglectance. You decide. Okay, so why are... So Phil had, of course, Phil had pet insurance all this time, and oh what? Oh, okay, oh fuck him, fuck it, fuck that. Phil then spent 300 plus on a joystick and another copy of Street Fighter 6. Put, I'm done. Okay, that's...
Kill me or release me, parasite.
That's it. I'm fucking... That is it. I am done with this. Okay. That was interesting. That was really, really interesting. Are you really... Phil, for God... Oh, God. Okay, for God's sake, man. I feel like fucking pulling my hair. I feel like pulling my hair out. That's friggin' that's ridiculous. just. That's it. I'm done with that. How is it possible, guys? I'm actually a little bit at a loss right now because that now we're sort of getting into it. Now we're sort of like going over the really stupid things that Phil is absolutely like. I'm done. Stick a pin in me. I'm done. I'll see all of you guys later on. That was painful.